By popular request, I'll be talking about Killing Floor 2 this week. And it's an online game, so you know the drill. Mute everyone. If you don't, your experience might be similar to mine, where the anonymity of the internet justifies speaking to others in a manner that would warrant an emergency tracheostomy with a broken beer bottle at the social gathering of your choice that your parents failed to teach you manners for. So anyway, let's dive right in. My immediate thought when I first started this game was, wait a minute, this is just zombies from Call of Duty. The structure of the game is fending off a predetermined amount of enemy waves before fighting Singed from League of Legends. The boss and ending to the levels are pretty much the only difference. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to shooters. So long as my trigger button fires and I can move around well enough with my controller scheme of choice, I'm happy. And fortunately, the controls as well as any other modern first-person shooter I've played. Then again, I'd say that's kinda hard to screw up, but there's no lag, screen tearing, or frame rate issues so far as I'm concerned, it's fine. There are multiple characters to choose from whose bios give you some insight into the story of the game, most of them boil down to the shit hit the fan and this character is stuck in the middle of it somehow. The characters and various means of customizing them are purely cosmetic though, as they didn't appear to have any real effect on the game. I went as the Sean Connery character because if I'm gonna be killing zombies, I'm gonna do it as Sean f***ing Connery. He's hit max level after all. Perks can be unlocked by leveling up enough, though admittedly I never progressed very far. I wanted to give each position a go, and this may just be inexperience talking, but aside from the medic who can heal others, I've never really noticed a difference. Sure, one class starts with a shotgun and another the assault rifle, but you can just buy whatever you want when you go to the trade station in between waves. You've got a pretty standard shooter loadout. The two things I personally enjoyed the most were the flamethrower and the katana though. Again, I'm not that familiar with shooters outside of the mainstream titles, so if there is some sort of immense difference between how these weapons feel and how ones from the other titles do, I didn't notice. Boomsticks still go boom. In trader stations, you unlock new weapons by progressing throughout the waves. Simple balancing at work here. The stronger and more costly items are available at higher waves. If you don't play a game with high enough waves, you don't get to use certain weapons. Perfectly reasonable to me. But also unnecessary. I found myself favoring the berserker who starts off with a get-off-me shovel, which is melee and thus infinite ammo. The only thing I ever found myself wanting to buy was the katana and more armor in between waves. Again, inexperience with the game speaking here, but I didn't notice a significant difference in the katana and shovel. I only really wanted the katana because it was cooler. I also noticed very random spikes in the player base. I go to school during the day and work at night as of the making of this video. My game time is in the afternoon and weekends. During the week, I couldn't find more than 2 or 3 games with players. The lobby was filled with a multitude of rooms that had 0 players. I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but it was like I couldn't play the game until the weekend hit. Granted, this is a very personal observation. I could easily be the only person who had this problem, but it did affect my experience with the game. The game is alright, but it can't help but feel generic. It feels like a game I owned already 3 or so years ago because it's a mini-game from a game I did own 3 or so years ago. It's a little more expanded on than the old Zombies mode, sure, but all it gives us is a grind and a boss fight. It was a nice little distraction in between my week, but it wasn't something I found myself devoted to. Like in Call of Duty, it was just something nice to do every now and then to mix things up a bit. Looking at the overwhelmingly positive score it has on Steam, this game is apparently a hit, but I can't help but feel like this is a redundant purchase that doesn't offer enough to justify the asking price.